Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka NerdAndProudOfIt, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to talk a little bit about the Mishras Workshop. I think it's a very interesting card, and recently I've been looking through my binders, seeing where I can complete playsets, what I still need, having a look at these old vintage cards, and I came across the Mishras Workshop today. And I was like, yeah, I always wanted to have a playset, and it is something that's still on my list. Maybe I should go for that. Maybe I should add that to my focus list. And then I saw the price. And we're going to talk about the current price of the Mishras Workshop a little bit. First of all, folks, if you are new to the channel, that happens a lot recently, that a new batch of people checking out the videos and is new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really helps the channel a lot. It helps along the video as well as the channel. And you never miss a video about old Magic the Gathering cards or other nerd stuff again. So that would be really cool. Thanks a lot, of course, to all my current subscribers, my Patreons, and my YouTube channel members. You guys keep this channel afloat, and I appreciate it. Antiquities. It is basically my favorite set. A lot of the regular viewers know it, and if you're new to the channel, now you know it as well. I love Antiquities. I love Mishras Workshop, not because it's so expensive, but simply because I always thought it is a great card to have in your deck. And that's why I was going at a certain point for another Mishras Workshop while I already had one. And I was thinking about maybe I should get an artist proof because I collect artist proofs as well. And then I was like, yeah, let's wait until I get that artist proof. And I never got the second and the third one. Never got the third and the fourth one. I got the second one, obviously. And in the end, I never got around to do it. To buy the card, I mean. Now I had a look at the prices while I was checking my binders and while I was thinking about getting certain playsets. I'm trying to build an old school deck, probably mono black, but it's never bad to have options, right? And I was looking at the Mishras Workshop as well because I saw, oh yeah, you still have two Mishras Workshops. You wanted to get another one. Let's see if there's any available on 3-for-1 trading or whatever. And I saw the last one sold for 3,700 euros. That's about $3,900. Let's round it up to 4K. When the hell did a card like this become 4K, folks? When did that happen? Can you tell me? Is it because of old school? Is it because of Commander? Is it because of vintage getting back on track? I see a lot of the high-end old cards selling. I made a couple of videos about it, mainly dual lands, but some cards like Bazaar of Baghdad or Moxes or let's even include Library of Alexandria from Arabian Nights. I talked about that yesterday, about Arabia. I'm going to link to the Arabian Nights video at the end of this video if you want to continue watching. But when did these high-end cards bounce back so hard? Why is nobody talking about this? Am I the only one still collecting vintage? Then why are these selling? Why are these selling for so much money? Why is everybody denying, yeah, we're still off the highs? If a card like that, even at the highs it was 3,000 bucks and not 4,000. Sorry. It never was 4,000 before the MTG 30 disaster. I had a look at these constantly back in 2020, 2021 because I wanted to get another one. And I was looking for an artist proof as well. So I'm pretty sure the prices weren't around 4K. When did this happen? And I get it, there is a lot of movement recently, especially with cards that are very playable, especially with lands that are very playable, like this, like the Gaia's Cradle, which jumped up to 2K. So it was super weird that these cards had been overlooked for so long, and now they get the attention they deserve. So that's very good. But this one made quite the jump recently, and I was very surprised by that. What that means as well, folks, for me personally, and probably for most of you with a normal, regular budget, I will never be able to achieve a playset of this card. or I have to trade something really, really expensive as well for it, which I normally don't do because I do not get rid of any reserved list cards. I own all my reserved list cards, stay in my collection once they are in the collection. For the rest, I don't care that much, but reserved list, that's a no-go for me. Unless, of course, there's a life-changing event and I have to sell my shit, but it is what it is. I see about that then, and that's not happening, knock on wood here on the table, for hopefully the next 50 years. And then I don't care anymore. Mishras Workshop, if you don't have one, and if you only want to get one for your collection, for your antiquities set or whatever, like I have here in this binder, there's my antiquities set, my other antiquities cards, my antiquities artist proofs, and my duplicates. If you want to get one, you might want to get it very, very soon, because cards like this, at a certain point, still, I believe, they disappear from the market. We said that a couple of years ago. I might sound like a broken record, because I'm saying it again now, a couple of years later. If MTG 30 wouldn't have happened, and if the prices wouldn't have been heavily impacted by the lack of consumer confidence, by the lack of confidence of old players in their collections after Wizards of the Coast screwed them over and broke their promise, then a card like this probably would be around 5, 6, 7k already, because it's a wonderful card, it's a very playable card, and it's extremely rare. So if you want to get one, I honestly believe, of course, anything can happen. This is not financial advice. Obviously, cards can get cheaper. Wizards of the Coast can try to do something weird again, which I don't think they will. It would be really, really stupid, and I think they learned their lesson. It would be counterproductive for them as well, not only because of lawsuits, but simply because they can print everything else and they still make a lot of money. Why piss off the old collectors and players? And even people that are into Magic the Gathering Vintage, that are new to it, can go to cards like this, because cards like this retain value. It's a good basis to build a collection, in contrary to modern cards, more recent cards, which always will get reprinted. I would advise to consider at least getting one of the Mishras Workshops, if it's still on your list, because it's happening quietly, folks. It's not, there's not a big boom. There's not a big explosion. There are not a lot of people talking about it. There are not a lot of people buying vintage, everybody says. Still, these cards are disappearing from the market left and right. I see them getting onto a store, seeing them on the marketplaces, whatever, and still they are being bought. So don't tell me vintage is dead. I don't believe it. I see it firsthand. And as a vintage collector myself, I know what the market does, at least for certain cards, pretty well. And for these old cards, these high-end cards, there's a niche market. There are not like 100 selling every day. That's not happening because there's simply not a lot on the market at any given time. But these cards are selling. And the best thing to do is, if you don't believe me, you can just add a couple of these cards to your watch list, and you can follow them yourself, and you see that what I'm experiencing isn't an isolated event, but it's happening across the board. And again, not crazy, not big numbers right away, but a sale here and there is enough, especially if there are not a lot on the market, to drive up the price of a card like this. So folks, Mishra's Workshop. It is weird to think that I will probably never get a playset of this. It's okay as well, because as a collector and as a vintage collector, I always say, if you can't afford the card, it's unfortunately, it happens. I can't get every card I want. Nobody should be able to get every card they want, because it's a collectible card game. So I'm okay with not getting a playset. Still, I would love one. So it's a bit a weird thing to think about, that some cards obviously have gotten out of reach. And I'm lucky. I know. I have a lot of these old cards in my collection, and I have them in my collection for a very long time. But adding to your vintage collection nowadays, even though everybody says, oh, everything is still cheap, yeah, maybe legend rares, maybe weird antiquities rares that are not high-end like this, you can still get cheap. But in the end, the high-end cards are not that cheap anymore. And I will probably have a look at the Moxes next, because for me, the Mox is cheaper than the Mishras Workshop at the moment. I've seen a couple of good condition unlimited Moxes for 3,000 bucks, which still is a fucking lot of money, of course. But they never were less expensive than cards like this. So either this is too expensive at the moment, and I know playability plays a big role at the moment, but still, in the end, it's about collectability as well. And you can play the Moxes in certain formats in which you can play the Mishras Workshop. So I understand that this might be more sought after at the moment, and that might drive up the price. It's the same with Power 9, not only the Moxes, of course, but with the Time Twister, which is allowed in Commander, for example. So that one has gotten a lot more expensive. But in the end, a card like this shouldn't be more expensive than a Mox, in my opinion. But that's my muscle memory, price muscle memory. Folks, let me know in the comments which cards I should have a look at next. I think about the Moxes, because I can't believe the Moxes are not climbing up as well. If you have another idea, for example, have a look at the Tabernacle or whatever, then let me know in the comments, please. I'm very curious what you think I should have a look at. Stay healthy, folks. Stay frosty. Thanks a lot for listening. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.